Madison Mustangs, welcome to our YouTube channel. We know we've sent you a lot of information via text and mail, and we've even done some PowerPoints this week during Smart Start Week. We want to make this video so you can see some of the things we've done at the school to make the school safer for all of our students. And this is one small example. We have one-way traffic throughout the school. More about that in a bit. But what I want to share with you now is we have only 2 access points to our school. This is the access point for our car riders, walkers, bike riders. Parents, it's going to be very important you come to this parking lot to drop off your students. Of course, it's super important that you realize this is going to not only be our drop-off spot, but our pickup spot. I know many of you last year parked on the other side of the campus. If you do that, your student is going to have to walk out of this gate and walk around to you. We have to do one entry point for those folks. Please remember, you cannot be on campus before 8:50. So if you try to get before campus by 8:50, you're going to need to register for host. I'll post a link below for the host information. Let's go check out one of our classrooms so you can see what the sanitation station looks like and what social distancing will look like. So this is one of our sanitation stations. They're located just inside the classroom door as the students enter the entrance. We'll come in, we'll grab a wipe, and then we'll get to our desks and wipe our desks. As you can see, the desks are about 4 feet apart, and that's about as much as we could distance, given the small size of our rooms. Unfortunately, since they're only 4 feet apart, that will mean that we have to keep our mask on while we're in class, but we'll have some time to have some mask breaks in PE and throughout the day. But yeah, so this is what it's going to look like, 4 feet apart. And there's the sanitation station. Gloves, mask in case something happened to the mask the student has on, plenty of hand sanitizer, that's a gallon, and those wipes. Again, when the students come in through the door, they're going to make sure to grab a wipe and wipe off their desks. Just in case you didn't know, our school was built in 1952, and we did have a little bit of a renovation in 2002, which included our gymnasium. I'm just showing you this to tell you that it is hard to socially distance a school or make one-way hallways in a school that was built in 1952. And so for the most part, there's one-way hallways, more about that in a bit, but there are some special weird spots in which we do have two-way hallways. I'm gonna show you one of those right now. So this is one of our 6th grade hallways, and the only way to get to some of these classes is to make these hallways 2 ways. So what we've done is kind of split the hallway in half with this red tape. Students will stay on the right-hand side, whether they're going east or west, so it's always to the right-hand side of whichever way you're walking. Like I said, the only way to get students to that side of the campus would be to do a 2-way right here. The good news is that down there is only 2 classrooms, and they're virtually small classes, so it won't be that many students having to go in the wrong direction. But let's go look at one of our traditional one-way hallways. So here is a fully one-way hallway in the school. This hallway goes to the south side of our campus. There's signage on the wall and signage on the floor. And so we've made it so the signage keeps on going until we have to make a choice. So as you see here, this is one way, one way, one way. And now I'm able to make a choice. And when I look, this is not a choice available to me because it's one way the other way. So I would have to travel this way. As I'm traveling here, you'll see in a bit we'll have some more wall signage as well. I've come to the end of this hallway. Oh, I must make a left. And then you see up ahead I have some choices of things I can do. So it's important that we pay attention to these signs. Now here's something really important for our students and families to know. One-way directional signage and hallways is only in play when we have large numbers of students. So if we had 25 students or so in the hallway at a time, we would then follow our one-way directional. However, if there's less than that, you're going to the restroom, there's not class change, no transition, then one way does not need to be followed. That's important. And we'll tell students more about that when they're on campus, but just know that we don't always have to go one way. One way is only when we have mass numbers of students in the hallways. As we continue looking at some of the things we've installed to make us a safer campus, you'll note that we're social distancing all over the campus, and that includes the restrooms. And so we're going to limit it to only 3 students in the restroom at a time. If there's 3, we'll just ask the students to wait outside, socially distance apart, until it's their turn to go to the restroom. Welcome to our cafeteria, which is highly socially distanced right now, as I'm the only one in here. As you can see, there are table markers on the tables We're only going to fit 4 students to a table. They're going to have assigned seats. We're getting them those lunch passes at homeroom on Monday, and so it'll tell them to sit at column 5A, seat 1, and that's where their seat will be. So it's important they sit there. Now, a note about eating in the cafeteria. We're going to ask students, for their safety, to take off the mask only while they're eating and drinking. As soon as they finish their food and finish their drink and they throw it away, the masks have to be back on. Because again, even though we've social distanced, CDC guidelines say 6 foot. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough space. We're socially distancing about 4 feet. So it's going to be important that while they are not eating, students are going to have to wear those masks. So this is the lunch line, and as you can see, we have markers on the floor that we'll wait at. Students, the food will be in 2 choices. The choices will have everything selected for that choice. So if you got Southern chicken bites and that came with mashed potatoes and fruit cup, it would already be in the bag. So unfortunately, you won't be able to pick your sides. The sides will come predetermined with the meal that you select. You can see here that we have plexiglass for the safety of our workers, and you can see that we don't have the pin pad out. It's also important that you note, parents, that we cannot take cash at this time because the ladies need to make sure they're staying nice and clean, and so we don't spread any of the germs. So if you need to send money for your student, we're asking that you register at My Payment Plus, and again, I'll provide that link down below. And make sure that you register for that because it'll be the way that you can pay for your students' lunch. One last quick thing I want to show you is that all the water fountains have been disabled on the campus. So the first day we have plenty of water bottles for the students so they can have some refreshing water while they're here with us. If you'd like to provide more, please send it with your student. I don't know when, but at some point we are getting touchless water refilling stations where you can put your water bottle in and without being touching, the water will come out. So those are all the updates I wanted to share with you about the things we've done to keep the school safe and clean. Again, important things to remember: don't enter campus before 8:50 unless you sign up for a host. Host students can't enter campus before 7:30. 1 point of access to the school. If you're a car rider, walker, bike rider, you're going to come in through the side gate. I'll be standing there, or a staff member will be there. And buses, of course, come in through the front. Same thing when we go home, we're going to go out that same side gate. Sanitation stations in the classroom. Make sure to grab your sanitation wipe when you enter the classroom. Make sure to keep that mask on. Unfortunately, we got to do that in the classrooms. And one-way directional signage only for when there are a mass number of people in the hallway. Social distance cafeteria. Please remember, sign up for My Payments Plus. And any questions, as always, please feel free to call the school, 272-3050. Looking forward to seeing everybody who's coming back to brick and mortar on Monday, and looking forward to seeing those e-learners on Zoom as well. Thank you so much for your time today. Stay safe, and as always, stay Madison strong.